G'day YouTubers and welcome back to Cam Carter Adventures. Well, today I've decided to come back out here to Camp Strathpine, which is in the northern suburbs of Brisbane. And this is an area that was occupied by the US Army back in World War II, and more specifically the 1st Cavalry Division of the US Army. But previous to World War II, the 1st Cavalry Division used to be a mounted horse division, but following the bombing at Pearl Harbor, they transferred to a light armoured mechanised division. And they came out here to Camp Strathpine back in 1943 to prepare to go to war with the Japanese in New Guinea. And from here they went to New Guinea and they fought in the Admiralty Island battle. After the Americans left, the base was taken over by the 7th Division of the 2nd AIF. I think I've got that right. They used it right up until the end of the war as a training ground. The last time I was out here, I found a fairly large site that had a lot of 9mm cartridge casings. Now these casings, I believe, is from an Owen gun. Now the Owen gun was an Australian-made machine gun. It had 32 rounds in each of them, and I'd say that somewhere around about here, somebody has fired a whole bunch of these 9mm rounds. And I think here, I'm going to find at least 100 of them. That's my plan. So this is some of the digging detective's finds. He's got 32 9mm rounds and a partially damaged 9mm Owen gun magazine that he pulled out of a horse paddock not far from here. Now the 9mm is also known as the 9mm Parabellum, and it was originally designed by, ironically, a German guy by the name of George Luger, and he was the person that developed the Luger pistol. And the word Parabellum came from a Latin phrase, si vis pacem parabellum, which essentially means if you want peace, you must prepare to go to war. The 9mm cartridge was so popular it was used all around the world, and when the Owen gun was developed, it fitted nicely into the Owen gun magazine, which sits on top vertically of the Owen gun. Now the 9mm really only has a range of around about 100 yards and an effective range of about 40, so it's perfect for close combat jungle warfare. The Australians used these right up until the Vietnam War. So today my little explore is to see how many of these 9mm cartridges or shell casings I can find in this particular area here. So without trying too hard here, I've already found one. So that's the 9mm Parabellum. That's just the shell casing. Obviously there's no bullet in that. But they're quite a stumpy little, I think they're 19mm in height, this particular shell casing. But anyway, I found one of them. This one was just on the leaf litter, so if I just get my little finder out here, I can guarantee that over here there's going to be some more. They're really just sitting on top of the leaf litter here. They're really easy to find. There's another one in there. That's the one I just found. If I just dig around in here, just with my finger, you can see it's really easy to find in here. It's over in there. There we go. And there's another one. There's another 9mm casing, and that is from an Owen gun. So I brought my little rake along with me today, and I've just cleared a bit of the leaf litter away here just so I can see things a bit more clearly. I think most of this is going to be around about 2 to 3 centimeters underground, and without even using a metal detector. Oh, there's actually one there. Seriously, that one is just on the surface. So I'll have another quick look around here. There's another one that's on the surface, and so that's the 4th one I've got for today. Yes, this is going off because the brass on these tends to break up into little pieces, and this finder will actually pick up some of the smaller pieces of copper. So that's definitely a target just there. There's another one. Another one in here. Another one. That's a 9mm. So the holy grail with this one is to actually find a 9mm cartridge that is unfired, and that is, it's still got the bullet or the projectile in the end of it, which we have found quite a few of before, but today that'd just be like the icing on the cake if I could find one of those. So we've got, what's that, about 5, 10, about 20 odd in there at the moment. It really is just like shooting fish in a barrel. Like I mentioned, an Owen gun magazine held 32 rounds in it, so you could pretty much just like dump 32 rounds in a matter of seconds. The thing is with the Owen gun is that the magazine sat on top of the rifle, and then it actually ejected the spent cartridge out the bottom of the rifle. So if you stood here and you were firing maybe at the other end of that riverbank just there, all of those shell casings basically fell to your feet. The difficult thing with the finder is that any broken pieces of brass, like there's another 9mm. I think I've kind of found something that's very interesting, and that there, is that a nut or is that, hang on, no, beg your pardon, I haven't found anything interesting. That's a surface find. Don't even need a spade for this one, I'm pretty sure. It's just under the surface here. Let's see if we can't find it. It's in there. Maybe I do need a spade for it. No, I don't. There you go. Beauty. So some of these rounds are just literally sitting on the surface, like this one here, which is just near this little bit of root there. So chuck that in there. The collection's growing. So this one here is sitting on top of the leaf litter somewhere. Come on, they're so hard to find, especially when they're exactly the same colour as the, sorry, I'll just get out of that shade here, but when they're exactly the same colour as the leaves around them. So it's definitely in there somewhere. Hopefully I haven't moved it. It's in there. What have we got? There it is. Oh. Oh. You're not going to believe this. This is the Holy Grail. This is what I've been looking for. This is what I came here for. This is a unfired live 9mm round, and this is exactly what I came here for. So this has made the whole little adventure worth it. Woohoo! I'm super excited about that. So this here is an unfired, what you would call live 9mm round from around about 1944. This one would have been loaded into a magazine of an Owen gun and possibly misfired and was ejected. I would reckon. This is me just imagining going back into 1944, and a soldier from the 2nd AIF was standing here having target practice on that bank there, and something's happened. The gun has misfired, and that's been ejected from the bottom of the Owen gun. It's still got the actual projectile in the end of it. Anyway, I'm super excited about that. I'm going to clean that up. Now, people are going to say, oh, isn't that dangerous? Well, outside of the chamber of a rifle, a bullet is pretty harmless. Yeah, I mean, it could take your eye out, or it could do, you know, I don't know. Pretty much all of the velocity of the projectile comes from the pressure inside the rifle chamber. Now, if this went off, even if that gunpowder inside there was still good after, what's that, 81 years, it's probably just going to go off like a fizz. It might flick around and, I don't know, donk you on the head or something like that, but it's hardly going to go through your heart. Now I'm happy to carry this home in the car. It's not dangerous at all. I mean, it's no more dangerous than the fuel tank of your car. So in this one spot right here, just so far I've managed to find 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 shell casings. Just in the pocket. And there seems to be a whole bunch of others around here. So I reckon this is the spot where, oh, there's one over there. I've already been looking there everywhere. It's like shooting fish in a barrel. There's actually a bit of a hole there. So if I just have a look in there and I scrape that across there, and hopefully we will be able to see, there it is, shell casing just there. There's another one just in there, which hopefully we can make out just by scraping that across. It will pop out. Of course it won't, because I'm filming. It's just in there somewhere. They're very difficult to see unless you've got, there it is. These things are very difficult to see unless you've got a finder. It's not quite sure whether you can. Anyway, that's what the end of them looks like. I'm going to try and clean that up and see if I can get a date off that one. But I reckon this is an area, there's another one, an area here where someone has emptied a magazine and they've all been ejected onto the floor right here. Another one, there's another one right there, which is that one just there. There's blowflies around here as well. But my goal today is to get 96 of these, and 96 means that would be 3 magazines full for an Owen gun. There's 32 rounds in a magazine. So I think I'm going to stop at 96. I think 96 is probably enough for me to take from here today. Now, as I mentioned to you before, the magic number is 32. That's actually 21 just there. And I've pulled out 21 just from this little section that's just in here. So that would indicate that possibly someone was firing on that bank over across the creek there. And if they emptied the whole magazine, then there should be 11 more shells in this area. There it is. Oh, there's 2 of them. Look at that. 2 of them. 2 in one pot. Oh, there's more. There's actually 3. Oh, they're everywhere. Well, there you go. I've managed to find 32 shell casings just in that little area that's just there. Now, this area that I've explored today is only about 4 or 5 square meters, and I've pulled out well over 100 9mm Parabellum rounds. So I think I'm going to call it a day out here. I don't really think there's any point in me taking any more finds out of here. Might give someone else the opportunity to come out here one day and try and find where I am and do a bit of hunting around. Anyway, leave a comment and let me know what you think I should do with these shell casings. There's about 60 in the little bucket there, and this is the 32 that I picked just out of that hole just there. But what do you reckon? Should I clean them up? Should I keep them? Should I donate them to a museum? Perhaps you might have a World War II collection that, you know, you might want some. Let me know in the comments. That was a pretty successful little adventure that I've been on today. I've been meaning to come out here for a while, and as I mentioned, the cherry on the cake is just that live round. I'm going to clean that one up as best as I can and as safely as I can, and I'll show you what I've found. Maybe I'll do a bit of a reel, or whatever they call them on YouTube, the shorts. That's what it is. But as usual, if you like my channel, please subscribe. I do more of this stuff. Yeah, anyway, stay safe and have a great day. If you are thinking about coming out here, I've just covered my tracks. I've raked up all the leaf litter back over those little holes I've dug. I'm not doing that to be mean. I just wanted to clean this place up as much as possible. Yeah, leave only footprints, take only bullets.